Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today, we've got a really fun video. At least I think it's going to be really fun. I hope you guys do too. Today we're talking about the 5 most outlandish knives in my collection. These are knives that are bizarre and goofy and just plain weird. And I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun. We've got Spinosaurus out here sitting on the table, a very weird and bizarre dinosaur. So I think it fits the theme. We're going to go ahead and hop right into this, and I want to start off with an honorable mention. The only reason this isn't on the list proper is because I decided to make this a top 5 instead of a top 6, but the Cold Steel Spartan. This is a pretty classic knife. A lot of you will be familiar with this, but this is a pretty crazy knife. This is a pretty outlandish one. It's a folding kopis, right? The handle here is pretty similar to the original Greek weapons. The blade here with its recurved drop point is also very reminiscent of that. And this knife is just a beast. Triad lock, super thick, overbuilt, just the way you want all of your cold steels. Razor sharp out of the box. This thing is a heck of a chopper. It's made to chop things up. It's made to... It's a pretty self-defense-y knife, right? I've used this out in the woods as a work knife, and it does great and all that, but, you know, things like this wave feature definitely make it more of a self-defense-oriented knife, and I love that. This is definitely something you don't see every day, and it's just crazy. Absolutely ridiculous. But some of the knives on this list are even more ridiculous than this, believe it or not. Alrighty, we're going to start this list off strong with a pretty new knife to me. This is a CRKT Razel fixed blade. This is just an odd knife, right? It's a very well-made knife. It's a very cool knife. I've been carrying the heck out of this recently. I love these red liners. I love the burlap scales with the red pins. But what makes this knife weird is the blade. Obviously. This knife is designed by John Graham. I think it's John Graham. Graham Knives. And this is his signature blade style. This is the Razel. And it's a very interesting blade because it has 2 edges. A long straight edge here and then a shorter straight edge here. Both these edges are sharpened. We've got a very fine tip here, but there's really no point on the knife, right? This is a very non-traditional blade shape. If this little drop point is more of a traditional blade shape, this is about as far opposite as you can get. And I absolutely love it. This is actually very, very useful. Some people might argue the utility of some of the knives are going to be showing after this one, but this knife here is absolutely 100% a good user. Very nice size for an ADC fixed blade. You can get to that point for your utility cuts. This sharpened edge here allows you to do some scraping. I found it's fun for opening things up. You just kind of get this in there and then just push, and it'll just shoop, open things right up. Good straight edge here, hollow grind. Yeah, 100% a functional, user-friendly knife, but man, oh man, is it an oddball. This definitely stands out in my collection, and I love it. You pull this knife out around anyone, and they're going to ask questions. They're going to say, what the heck is that? And let's be honest, as knife guys, we love that. We love when people ask us, where the heck did you get that? What the heck is that? I have never seen that before. This definitely elicits that kind of reaction. There's a sheath, in case you were curious, pocket clip. But yeah, definitely a very, very cool knife. Next up, this is a knife that I got a long, long time ago. This is a very early knife on the channel, but it's one that I've kept around just because it's so crazy. This is the CH Knives something or another. I think I've got the number on here. Yeah, there's the model number. I don't review a whole lot of CH knives or F and Grow knives just because not a whole lot of them are interesting to me, and I also suspect that they do a lot of cloning. But this knife is one that I've kept in my collection just because it's crazy. We've got kind of a pistol grip handle here. Definitely can get to some chopping. Huge finger choil you can choke up in there. We've got the cleaver blade hole, which you can actually use to deploy the knife, as you probably saw. There you go. Let's see if I can still pinky flick it. I used to be able to do this. Ooh, how polite, right? Yeah, very, very fun. Look at this closing action. you better get your fingers the heck out of the way or your fingers are going to be laying on the ground. Flipper tab works great. This is just a knife that you don't see every day. And how useful is this, right? Is this a good EDC knife? Probably not. In fact, I've never really seriously carried this. I've cut lots of cardboard with it. I've broken down a lot of cardboard. It works great for that. You know, this is a cool little knife to maybe keep in your garage or something and break down cardboard. But as for most day-to-day EDC stuff, this is probably not what you want. But it's still in my collection because it's just so cool. And that's kind of the theme with all these knives. Why do I have them? Because I can. Because they exist. Because they're goofy and they make me laugh, and that's important to me. I think that's an amazing part of the knife world, is that sometimes things are just fun, right? I've got plenty of knives that are fantastic utility knives, right? I've got lots of good EDC knives. I've got lots of knives that I enjoy using. But sometimes I just want to have a knife that does nothing more than make me laugh. And this is definitely one of them. So, the CH, whatever the heck the alphabet soup here is, the CH3531-G10. I don't think they ever made a titanium version of this. I might be wrong. If they did, that's probably one heck of a knife, I'll tell you what. Next up, this knife is also kind of a classic, and this is a knife that I think anyone who likes this brand needs to have this knife in their collection. The Cold Steel Espada XL. I can barely fit this on the screen. This thing is stupid. It's absolutely stupid. There's no getting around that, right? This is not just overkill. This is overkill. You know, this is shooting a mouse with a tank overkill. And I absolutely love it. I love this huge Bowie blade. I love Bowie knives. This is a must in the collection of anyone who collects Bowie knives. If you have a Bowie knife collection, this is a must. This is an absolute must. It's a two-handed folding knife. You can also grab it here, kind of this pistol grip, and man, this thing chops. Oh gosh, does it chop. Grab it up here, grab it like that. It's got the wave feature, so you can whack this open from a standing position, which is absolutely terrifying. It's just a beast. I mean, let's bring out that last knife. This is a big knife. Or is it? Right? You know? Yeah, this is big. This is titanic. It's gargantuan. It's absolutely humongous. And I think that's amazing. And one thing about this knife that continually impresses me is that this is actually carryable. This is technically carryable. Do I do it a lot? No. In fact, I don't think I ever carried this knife. I just sometimes put it in my pocket and walk around the house or go outside and chop things down because it's fun. But this thing, I mean, it goes in a pocket. It goes in a pocket. And here, let's bring out a Spyderco PM2. It's thicker, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot thicker. The pocket clip does work. This is a knife that is just insane. I can technically open it with one hand if I can avoid hitting my camera stand. Very well made, but absolutely ridiculous. This thing is... it's just crazy. And I love that. Triad lock, of course. You know, everything that you want from a cold steel knife cranked up to 11. Absolutely a wonderful, wonderful piece of knife history. Next up, this is a knife that I don't think you can get anymore, at least not this version of it, but it's a knife I'm really happy I got because it is just so weird. This is the Sniper Blade Works DMF, and this was a battle box version, so this is kind of a budget version. Steel handles with carbon fiber insert and a 1095 blade, which is interesting. You don't see that on folding knives too much. This is an interesting looking knife. It kind of reminds me of a hunchback rhino, like Quasimodo the Rhino. But it's just crazy that we've got this compound grind that's absolutely ridiculous. This blade that just weaves and waves and goes all over the place. This, I mean, we've been talking about pistol grip handles. This is 100% a pistol grip. I mean, look at that. Look at that. You grab it like there, you can choke up in here. The ergonomics on this thing are actually stupid good. This thing is so comfortable. Frame lock. We're running on washers. Reverse flick. You can absolutely do. Thumb flick you can do off of these blade stops. I've had this knife for a long time. I did a full review on this. This knife has appeared in another video I did on weird knives. It is 100% a weird knife. Now, you can still get these, like the more expensive titanium versions with S30V blades, I believe. Quite expensive, but I am so glad I have this budget version. Again, I don't think these are available anymore, but what an odd knife. What an odd knife. And honestly, I gotta be honest here, it's not unusable. You can actually use this. I mean, I've carried this knife in the woods. I've carried this knife to work, and it's a heck of a work knife. It's a beast. You know, if you're not a hard use kind of guy, you probably don't have an application for this. But if you are a hard use kind of guy, like I am, you'll probably get a kick out of this, because not only will it get the job done, it'll put a big old smile on your face while it's doing it. This thing is just, this definitely falls in the goofy category. The way this looks, it is goofy. It's goofy. And the thing that makes it even goofier is this thing looks hideous, and it looks like a nightmare in the hand, but oh my goodness, it is so comfortable, like hand melting. You know, this was made to be used. It blows my mind. It's trippy. But yeah, what a fantastic knife. What a weird knife. What a knife. Very, very happy to have that one in the collection. Alrighty. Our last knife for today. This is another one that's new, and this is one that's just completely outlandish. This thing is just so out of pocket and so just mind-bending. This is the Savivi Aratra. That name means plow in Latin. And yeah, I mean, I can absolutely understand why they named this knife that. I could probably hook this up to a horse and plow a field. This thing is just ridiculous. It's huge. It's like a cleaver ulu hatchet. I have split wood with this thing. It makes me laugh. How practical is it? I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. Right? If I'm going camping, you better believe I'm bringing this along to split wood. Yes, when I gotta do more wood splitting and stuff, yeah, have a hatchet and stuff nearby. But just for the fun of it, just for my edification, I've got to play with this. Wow. It's also a musical instrument. I hope those tings came across on camera. Otherwise, I will sound like an idiot. But this thing is absolutely ridiculous. It's so well made. And this thing, I mean, it's comfortable in hand. Big old chunk of D2 steel. One of the most ridiculous Kydex sheaths I have ever seen. But gosh, I love it. I absolutely love it. This thing is most expensive Savivi I've ever bought, but worth every dime. It's there's nothing else in my collection like it. There's nothing else on the planet like this. It is its own thing, and I absolutely love that. This is a Torbay design. You can see there, Torbay knives. And, sir, I'm not sure what you were smoking when you thought this up, but you know what? You should smoke some more of that stuff and give us some more of this, because this thing just brings a smile to my face. It's crazy. It looks like some prehistoric beast. You know, it looks like the skull of some sea serpent. Got this big old eye, and it's just, goodness gracious. It makes me laugh so much. I absolutely adore this thing. This is one of my favorite Savivis ever made. This thing is great. If you haven't tried one out, I highly recommend it. The smiles that this has brought to my life are priceless, and I think you would also enjoy a little bit of joy in your life. So definitely check that one out. And with that, that's going to bring us to the end of our list. Let's get all these out here. Let's see if we can even fit them on the screen. Good golly. There's the Aratra. Here's the DMF. Here's the Espada. Oh yeah, that's not going to be opened up. I'll just set it there like that. Here's the, whatever the heck the name of that thing is. And then here's the Crazier, and Spartan is just going to have to sit this round out, unless we, you know what, we'll put him there. These are all knives that really didn't have to exist, but they do, and I'm happy about that. You know, if none of these existed, really, I wouldn't know what I was missing out on, right? Because none of these designs are things that I would ever really think to myself like, I wish that was a thing. I wish I had one of those. I wish there was a knife that looked like this. I would never just think that. But the fact that they do exist already and they're out there and available and, you know, you can track them down and get them, that's fantastic. That brings so much joy to my dark little heart. And I hope I was able to share some of that joy with you guys. If you have any of these knives, let me know in the comments what you think of them. And let me know some of the other just out-of-pocket, outlandish knife designs you know of. I always love looking at crazy stuff, right? And perhaps even being interested enough to pick some up for myself. But that's what I get for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, comment below, and subscribe. I've been Gideon. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Adios.